Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to Ana Dialogue, the dialogue on analog music reproduction. It has been a while since our last episode dedicated to the hi-fi show and in general. I disappeared for almost a month. Sorry about that. But my real job called me in Iraq. Yes, I am an archaeologist, if some of you don't know yet. So sometimes I have to go there or other places. I'm sorry about that. Then I also feel sick. I'm still recovering, but we're almost good to go. Okay, finally I found the strength to do an episode for you guys. Let's start immediately with our first video. Remember, if you want to know how to submit your video, you're going to find all the rules in the video description. Let's start now.
Hello, friends of Ana Dialogue. This is Alexis from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm presenting you my system. These are my speakers, ESS AMT 12. This is a limited edition. This is a reissue from old speakers. They have a 12-inch subwoofer on the front. Have a passive radiator, also 12 at the back. They have the mythical ESS Hail tweeter. It sounds delicious. Let's go for my reproduction system. For amplification, I use a Krell KSS 200S, 200 watt, pure class A, solid state. As for pre-amplification, I have a Melos. This is a 3-module system, pure vacuum tube. I made tube rolling here with NOS tubes, Muller gold pin from Holland. They have the power module separate, the phono stage also separate, and the line stage also separate. I have a sheet Locus 6-band, tone control. I just touch a little to correct some of the problems in my room. As for the digital play, I mainly listen. I have a Denafrips Aeris 12 brand new DAC. This is an air-to-air ladder DAC. I chose this because of its analog sound, comparing to other DAC I have with chips. Also, I have a Win Pro streamers that makes it works very well. And for viewing, I have a Sony Blu-ray disc player. And for the analog reproduction, I have a Technics, an SL 1200 MK2. It's in really nice condition. Look at the plate, all original. Really nice turntable, custom furniture made by a friend to put the records. You can change the front disc so you never get bored of the furniture. Really nice design. Well, this is my system. Hope you like and enjoy it. I will put some sound so you can listen and enjoy. Thank you.
Okay, Alexis, thank you. Thank you for your submission. So, a lot of Argentinians. I'm glad about that. So, what can I say? Very nice room. I like it a lot. I see you put a lot of energy and resources on the amplification and preamplification. I like a lot those vintage speakers. Actually, you said that there are a re-edition of old speakers, so even better if they follow the indications. I love a lot the Krell, but also that Melos. I must admit I don't know that Melos, but it seems very well built, very cool, a lot of functions. Very cool, I like those a lot. Congratulations. Not a big fan of the classic Technics. I mean, they're good, but if you really want to keep that design, try to upgrade to the new ones, because the cogging, the rumble of the center drive, the direct drive, is just very, very better in the newer models, obviously. But apart from that, no problem. It's a very reliable turntable. The only recommendation I would say is to put maybe, first of all, some feet under the decoupling or somehow dampening. It depends of the speakers, and also some treatment behind, because you have that brick wall right behind them. Since it does have a backfiring, that could help a lot, I think. Some unwanted reverberations. But apart from that, top notch. Thank you. Thank you also for using my music. You guys, if you want to test also, I put a link in together with those rules with some tracks. It's just YouTube music, nothing fancy, but it's copyright free, so we don't have any hassles or problems, okay? So, fantastic. We can proceed to our second video now.
Good evening, everyone. This is Gerald from Hamburg. Today I wanna present my second listening room. It's a much smaller room, which I also use for my office. But this setup I mainly use to test gear, but also doing long time listening session, because it's a very revealing, some kind of near field almost, because I'm maybe 2 meters away from this system. Even some of you may say, it's quite, the stand is not optimal for the room. I have to say, everyone who is joining me is quite impressed about the soundstage in the room. So let's start with the speakers. As some of you may think about the Devore 096 reference, you are correct. I have it originally in my house as well, some audio note speakers, but then I met a very experienced DIYer here close to my city, and he rebuilt for me the 096 reference completely from scratch. So the drivers looks a bit different because they cost 3 times more than the original driver in the reference. So he did just the best driver for me what he can get, and I really have to say I love the system. So the big one here is an SB acoustic active subwoofer with an Hypex FA251. So in this combination he takes over at around 180 Hertz, so it's a perfect combination. So similar what Devore is also doing, but with 2 smaller ones. This is a 12-inch, which I really love because it's completely harmonic with the mid and moral tweeter on the left. So let's start with the electronic. My main preamp I always use is the wonderful Brinkmann Marconi MK2. It's in design now over 15 years old, but it's a hybrid. There's a new version, so it's 4 years old. As you can see, wonderful build. It's a German handcraft work from its best. So it's using 2 NOS Telefunken in the hybrid mode, on the left, on the right. So very nice. And as amp, I'm using also a Brinkmann the Stereo MK2. It's also a tremendous beast of soundstage depth. It's really, it's It's not on the level what I have in my main system with the Lindbergh, but it's closely to it, and it's a perfect match in this system. So yeah, there are some external power supplies for the Brinkmanns as well for the digital source you will see in a second. So as digital source, you see the Lumen U1. The piece is made as pure aluminium, so it's like a tank. On the top, it's the Xyros CDE with the external power supply, which I really love because I love their output combinations. So as a digital analog or a DAC, I'm using the wonderful piece from Abbas Audio. It's a 3.2 signature based completely on NOS builds. So it's the TDA 1541 S1. So this DAC is, I would say, as I have also audio node, and as you know in the main system, quite another one, high-end DAC. So this one is definitely at least at the level at audio node DAC 5. So this one is really wonderful. Then underneath a Kinky Studio EX M1 Plus, just for testing purposes. Sometimes I use it. Another preamp I sometimes use in combination with my tube stuff underneath my Niagara power filter. So this is a completely tube-based preamp based on ECC 80 and 82 and 83. Wonderful piece, really handmade and perfect. So I'm using a modern, more high-powered 300p tube amplifier, integrated amplifier from Cain. Some of you may know that one. So it's the high-powered one with 25 watt per channel because it's using audiophile for the power stage. And then the 300Bs, as you can see, are using L-Rock, so quite expensive ones, or what means expensive, but really good ones. Then 6SN7, yes, I have a huge 300B selection, everything from Takatsuki to Full Music and Western Electric, and so on. So yeah, I test a lot of 300Bs, but mainly I'm using the transistor Brinkmann stuff. So yeah, another DIY piece I love from an Austrian, very experienced DIY tube builder. So these are very, very, very cool monos, which I sometimes use because he's using tubes which no one else is using. So purely NOS, as you can see, RV258, really awesome soundstage, def, bass. It's ridiculous, great build. So yeah, this is my second listening room. So some changes will happen in the near future. So yeah, I keep you up to date and thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you, Gerald. Thank you very much. Wow. Well, thank you also for teaching us how to say telefunken, which we all always get wrong. If I get it correctly, you said telefunken, very, very closed at the end. Well, this is your second. I don't understand if you already submitted the first. Maybe you did. I'm sorry, I don't remember. In any case, I like this a lot. And I like the fact that you choose to change the approach and do it near field. Also, you were very courageous, brave to modify the Devar speakers. Wow. I mean, that could be a complete outrage to someone. Something completely crazy. But if you put upgraded drivers, I'm sure that maybe you did the right thing. I mean, you never know. I mean, the chassis is probably excellent. So if you put even better drivers, which have the good synergy between them, that's the difficult part. You have to be careful on the crossover. You may find something special. I like the system a lot of tube gear, fantastic. Also that special amplifiers of your friend, very cool. Also the Cayenne, fantastic, great. No analog I see, completely digital, but maybe because it's your second system, so reasonable. Okay, let's proceed with our third video, starting now.
Hi Guido, hi viewers. My name is Roy, I'm Portuguese and I live in UK, and this was my system about 5 years ago. I had the speakers were the Bowers & Wilkins DM603S3. Also had the Pioneer receiver, the Pioneer VXX-AX5i, and the brilliant CD player, the Sony CDP X77ES. This was a 7.1 system, but I was only using it in stereo mode. Out of curiosity, the internals of the CD player, everything is shielded by copper to reduce interference, and when I sold it, I only had to replace the belt for the CD tray, and the current owner is still very happy, and it plays beautifully. Fast forward to today, as you can see, some stuff has changed. Starting with the speakers, the Q Acoustics Concept 500. They are on Isoacoustics Isolation Fit. I did find a change in sound quality, all connected to the Audiotricity Chimera Signature Power Conditioner. On top of it, the Blu-ray player, the Oppo UDP 203. I didn't go for the 205 because I'm not using the DAC inside it. Also have the Cambridge Audio Streamer, the CXN V2, not the latest. And on top of it, my brilliant DAC, the Mola Tambaki. My only analog piece of kit, the cassette player, the Denon DRM 800A. The power amplifier is the Eagle P30A, and the power amplifier is the Lumin amp on Isoacoustics Pucks. Not that it needed, but I thought it needed a bit more ventilation because the hair gets inside from the bottom. There are no vents on the top. It goes out in the back, so I raised it a bit just to get a bit more airflow. On the preamplifier, power amplifier, and the speakers, some of you may already know Thomas in Stereo YouTube channel, and he did all the work for me. So I first bought the speakers because I heard everyone saying how brilliant they were, and Thomas in Stereo, well, Thomas, he finally matched it on a video called Synergy. So if you look for Synergy, you might find it. And he got the best amplifier and preamplifier combination was the Eagle P30. This is the A1, which is more recent. And it said it was a brilliant system, and I totally believe him, and I'm really happy with my system. My Oppo Blu-ray player had a few upgrades. This is the original. I've upgraded the power supply, and the part of the CD player has now an isolation module, a stabilizer module. So this was the original internals, basically. This was the original CD tray with a more stable and solid aluminium tray on top of it, and the final with the power supply on the left side. Now a bit of an audio demo with those copyright-free musics that Guido provided. Hope you like it. So that's it. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you, Guido, and everyone else. Enjoy the show.
Okay, thank you, Rui. A Portuguese living in the UK, if I got that correctly. Cool. A lot of states, a lot of countries, a lot of mixtures. I like that. Thank you all for being so diligent in following the time rules and using the tracks. Apparently everyone is using the same track. You could have left that a few more seconds, no problem. In any case, if it's too long, I'll cut it, so don't worry. But at least I would say 30 seconds just to get an idea. Very nice system. I like that you showed us the evolution, what the gear you got. Great speakers. Obviously, congratulations for the Mola Mola Tambaki. That is exceptional. What else can I say? I'm sorry not to see any other analog, but you do have a cassette deck. That's good. I'm sure you already know, but if you can move that left speaker a little bit away, not only because it's close to the wall, but also because the other one isn't. So you're going to have some different frequencies coming at you, and it's going to create some mud at a certain point, at certain frequencies. So if you can, move a little bit the stuff on the right. I know there's the television set and everything. It's not easy. So just to mention. In any case, thank you again for your submission. And let's proceed now with our fourth video now.
Hello Guido, this is Peter from Germany. I want to show you my little hi-fi equipment here in my living room. Let's start with the loudspeakers. These are Magnat loudspeakers, active and wireless. The type is Magnat Magnosphere 55. Wonderful loudspeakers, I love them a lot. This is my record player. It's a Project RPM 1.3. I think I have it now for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. And over the years I tried to tune it a little bit. For instance, it has a leather plate here, leather mat. And now I have the 2M black as a cartridge. Before I had the 2M bronze, and when my wife cleaned the room, she broke the needle. So it was a good opportunity for me to take the 2M black as next. As you can see, I have worked on it a little bit to limit the vibrations of the record player and of course of the motor. Okay, then I have a speed box for the right speed, also from Project. Preamplifier is my Black Cube Statement from Lehman Audio. Cables, I have Sommer cable and Ulbach cable. This is the sending station for the loudspeakers. It has 2 inputs for digital, optical, and 2 analog inputs. This is a source control. This is my little car. This is on the left side a CD player, and on the right side a mini disc player and recorder. It's from Tevion, but I think it's only branded. I don't know the right manufacturer of this, but it works wonderful, and I love mini disc, and I love also cassettes. So I have a tape deck here, the Technics RSB X404, and I have a little thing here, and this is an 8-track player designed to be in a car. But I connected it to my hi-fi equipment, and now I can hear 8 tracks also. Here is my SSCD player from Pioneer. It's a 696 DV696, and this is a VHS player recorder with a DVD recorder and another DVD recorder and a PlayStation. So let's go to my washing machine. This is also a Project VCE, and here we have a little thing that is a little bit older. It's a reel-to-reel from Grundig. It's the 847. It was built 1957 till 1977. Yes. And that's it. That's it. Thank you for watching. All the best. Greetings to Italy. Bye.
Okay, Peter, thank you so much for submitting your video. And I like it a lot of analog stuff. The Technics, the turntable, the Black Cube, one of my favorite in the past. Budget, but very, very good, absolutely. Even the Grundig, I mean, so much. In fact, I don't understand why you have wireless speakers. Because if I understand correctly, they're wireless, and I don't think they're working via FM. So there's a conversion there. There's a conversion to digital. Everything is passing through that in a conversion, and then it's converted back to analog on the speakers. Since you like so much analog, I would just, I don't think you have even problems in connecting the speakers. Why not use that? I mean, might as well. Okay, let's proceed now to our final video now.
Hello, Mr. Anadialogue. This is Moggy from Melbourne, Australia. My system is, well, there's many things in it. I'll just go through the equipment and you can judge. For my surround and video, I have a Denon DVD, SACD CD player. It also plays DVDs, but that's old hat now. I have a Panasonic 4K player into a Marantz 7702 Mark II preamplifier receiver, no amps in it. I have a Marantz network audio player, which I don't often use, to be honest. To switch my multi-channel, I have a 2 Zektor 4 input 6 channel output, so together it's a 12 by 4 audio switcher. Amplification, have an original quad 405, a 405 clone stereo and a 405 clone 4 channel. These feed either my quad 2912s. At the moment I'm using my DIY 3-way speakers, Sears 8-inch woofer, a Vifa M75 dome mid-range and a Vifa soft dome 25mm tweeter. For the other amplification, I have 2 monoblocks of Nelson Pass Class A LF2 amplifiers, 100 watts per channel each. For multi-channel music, I have a TIAC A3440 tape deck. For other multi-channel, I have a dual 1219 turntable with a Shure M24H cartridge, which goes into the JVC CD4 decoder, and otherwise it's bypassed into the Sony SQ decoder amplifier 200, and that gets switched through my Zektor 12 by 4 channel switches, so I can select which multi-channel source I want. Up to 12 channels, because of course Atmos is many channels, and the Marantz preamp is I think 11.2 system. For basic stereo, I have a few things. I have a X10R tape deck. I have a TIAC X2000M, which is a 2-channel master tape machine. Very nice sound, I might add. As well, I have a Nakamichi ZX7. I also have a CR7A, a ZX9, and a CR5 elsewhere. Oh, and I've also got a Revox B215. Too many cassette decks to mention. For my turntable, this is an Oracle Series 1 from probably the 80s, and on it is a Empire arm, which I don't know a lot about, but that came with it, and the cartridge is a Koitsu Onyx Gold, and I had it retipped a while back with a new fine line stylus, which and it works really well. That goes into my moving coil preamp, which is the Full Monty. It's a DIY unit. Sounds fantastic. Battery operated. So from the moving coil preamp, it goes into this Hafler DH101, which is a fantastic stereo preamplifier. I love it. I've had it since the 70s, and it works magically. From the Hafler, it goes into the Zactor switches, and from there into the Nelson Pass Class A amplifiers, and from there into the Quad 2912s.
Wow! Magi, thank you so much for this video. It's a complete chaos there, I must admit. But, I mean, there's so much here. Wow, I mean, I can really see the experience, layers of experience of going through things, choosing clones, because they probably sound just as good and almost as good at a fraction of the price. So I perfectly understand that, and I'm sure you went through other stuff which wasn't, with famous names, which wasn't worth it at the end. So I support that, absolutely. You have to know if the clone is done correctly, clearly. But apart from that, it's not something to avoid to court, absolutely. A lot of analog gear, I love that. A lot of reel-to-reel, incredible cassette decks, the best of the best, practically of Nakamichi, and part of one or two missing, but supreme. Also the Revox, I have a few of those you mentioned, I have them as well, fantastic, congratulations. Maybe something I don't like that much is that the signal is routing here and there a lot. I mean, it's traveling a lot. Too many passages, too many circuits, in my opinion, degrade a little bit the sound. But I understand that it's very easy and very helpful to route it that way, to use multiple things. So in the end, it is a compromise, clearly. But remember, sometimes just to detach everything and have a clear throughout signal with the less components as possible, and you will see that things change a lot, I think. Usually that's my experience, at least. Okay, very nice videos coming from all over the world. Thank you so much, guys. Remember, all the rules to submit your video are here below in the video description. And what else can I say? Remember that music is born analog.
Well, guys, if you're enjoying my videos and you're enjoying my channel, please consider to subscribe by clicking the black and white logo here below. Also, don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode and you will become a true member of the analog community.